Hello and welcome to TechBrew AM. I'm Tyler Weingarten with Technology Association, and with me is Mike Ryder from Nutanix. TechBrew AM is a monthly program put on by the Technology Association of Iowa to interview technology professionals across the state and sponsored by the good folks at Nutanix. Good morning, Mike.
Tyler, thank you. Thanks for having us.
For those that don't know yet, tell us a little bit about Nutanix and what you guys do.
Well, Nutanix is the leading provider of hyper-converged technology in the market. And that's according to some industry-leading experts like Gartner and Forrester Wave. Nutanix is built on a web-scale architecture similar to how Google, Microsoft, and Amazon have built out their data centers, except we built ours for the enterprise. And web-scale architecture allows for rapid scale-up and scale-out of infrastructure and has allowed us to blur those lines between public and private cloud. And to learn a little bit more about Nutanix, I'd like to invite everybody to our .next Global Digital Experience that's coming up September 20th and through the 22nd. And simply just go to www.nutanix.com/next/register to attend the event.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mike. We're looking forward to participating in that event alongside you. I also want to let everyone know that this is our final virtual TechBrew AM. We are excited to be back in person in Des Moines beginning next month on September 10th. To register for that event, go to technologyiowa.org, click on the events tab, and find the TechBrew AM for September 10th. Okay, with that, Mike, I want to turn the floor over to you to introduce our guest for today.
Yeah, thank you. Kim Lehrman is the CEO of Communication Engineering Company, headquartered in Hiawatha, Iowa, an experienced executive leader who helps entrepreneurial organizations build profitable, sustainable business models and brands. She enjoys the development of talented teams in strategic marketing and sales. Kim joined CEC in October 2019 as CEO after serving as a longtime board member. With a strong background in next-generation technology, she delivers CEC's purpose in the changing technology marketplace. By connecting the company's product portfolio with customers' emerging business needs, Kim ensures that CEC continues to deliver depth and expertise in communication, collaboration, and security to the customers they serve. Please help me welcome the CEO of CEC, Kim Lehrman, to TechBrew AM.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, Kim, welcome to TechBrew AM. Thank you so much for participating in the event today.
Well, thank you, Tyler. Great to be with you. Thanks for inviting me.
We start every one of these interviews the exact same way, and we'll do the same with you. Hometown and high school.
Iowa City, Iowa is my hometown, and I went to Regina High School, a Catholic girl.
Now, being an Iowa girl, born and raised, what are some of the best experiences you had growing up?
So I always felt like Iowa was a place where you could explore who you wanted to be in a really safe environment. Iowa City was super open-minded, and we got exposed to a lot of things, but you didn't have to worry about being downtown alone. So it was a great growing up experience.
It's one of the beautiful things, I think, across the state is every community has its own little fun, interesting downtown that you can go and connect with other folks. We're going to get into your current role right now, but before we do that, talk a little bit about the different roles you've had in your career that led you to CEC.
So I think it was really interesting, this question, because I've really been an outwardly focused individual in terms of what is going on in the market. So I started out as a market researcher, really data-driven, product manager. I was a director of marketing, a VP of marketing and sales, president, and now a CEO.
So in all of that experience and now being a CEO, what does a CEO really mean for CEC, and what does a daily or week look like for you?
Yeah, so the CEO at CEC, one of the things we really talk about is technical mastery. And so what is happening in the world of technology, and what do we need to be having our pulse on? And then building the talent. So we are ready to show up for our customers as that talented partner.
working with organizations from across the state, you guys are probably a pretty good bellwether of emerging technologies. Can you talk about some of the different ways that you support different industries?
Yeah, so we work in healthcare, we work in manufacturing, we work in education. And what we're finding is, the network, the base network, how's that going to work? How's wireless working? And then how are the core technologies that CEC provides working on their network? So this convergence of applications, endpoints, and the network is a really interesting thing for us right now.
You have a really interesting background and are a great leader of your organization right now. You've done a lot of things. What is one of the accomplishments that stands out that you're most proud of in your career?
So one that got me started, Tyler, was when I was working for the Department of Economic Development, everything was done on, I had a secretary who typed, if you can imagine. And I installed their first AS400 computer system and automated communication and automated work. And I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about these computer systems. And what it allowed me to do is see, like, if you see something that you can make a change around, raise your hand and say yes. And so I've kind of followed that throughout my career. Whether I knew something about it or not, I'd go learn.
That is really great advice. Continue to learn and challenge yourself. With that in mind, my next question then is, what's something that you have learned this week?
So we just had a demo of a new version of surveillance cameras that we are representing. And endpoints are becoming so smart. And so as video is being collected now, they're putting attributes into the stream. So if we were taking this video right now, it would say blue shirt, male. It could say what kind of, what color is the car. That's all going into the stream right away, so you can then search that data immediately. I think that's fascinating how much processing we have going on in our networks now.
Very, very interesting. What would someone say that reports to you about you and your leadership style?
I think they would say I'm creative as a driver. So I drive the organization into creative new things.
Wonderful. In technology, and you guys know this better than I think most, we're constantly looking for ways to do it faster, better, cheaper. Give us an example in your career, maybe within CEC, where you guys have helped really move that innovation forward for either your organization or one of your clients.
Yeah, so CEC delivers talent. We deliver talent across Iowa and Wisconsin every day. And one of the processes that's really hard is making sure that we have the right talent in the right place on the right day. So we've just remade all of our scheduling and communication platform so that we can be more responsive. It changed a ton of process in our organization. So it was process management, it was people's, we've always done it this way, and technology coming together to give our customers better visibility. Took a long time, but we got there.
When you implement a process like that, the technology is pretty straightforward. What is the people part of that, and how difficult is that to implement?
Well, you can imagine this is a 75-year-old company. And so we've been doing it one way for a long time. And to get people to say, okay, I'm not happy with this current state, but I can use this technology. And if we use it well, we can get to a new state. But the middle is hard. Change is always hard, right? So it's leading through change. And thankfully, as you know, so many of these technology tools are becoming so easy. The interfaces are so much easier. The implementation so much easier. So it's just taking the plunge and making it happen.
And it takes good leaders to do that. So I commend you on leading the charge and helping others do it as well. Who have been some of the most impactful people on your career?
So a lot of people know that I started with Parsons Technology, Bob Parsons, who now had GoDaddy and now has the golf clubs. And one of the things I think is really interesting about Bob Parsons as a leader was he was just a go make it happen guy. And so, I would say, like, is Bob, you have any direction here? Anything you want to tell me? It's like, yeah, just don't F it up, right? Just go make it happen. So he was a good leader. And one of the best mentors, actually, I've had is my husband, Bruce Lehrman, who said, I believe in you and let's go make it happen. And he gives great advice.
Wonderful. What were you passionate about as a kid? Did you see yourself in a role like this when you were younger?
I've always been a leader, Tyler. I organized the neighborhood from the time I was 3. Like, we're going to go to the pool now, and then after we come back, we're going to have snacks at Dina's house, and set up musicals in our basement. So I've been a leader and an organizer as a young kid. So.
What keeps a person like you up at night?
So I think, you get to a place in your career where you really think about the transcendence of your team. And, am I helping people find their right path? Am I helping them along that path? Am I bringing the energy and making an environment where people feel like they're moving forward? So that's what I think about in the middle of the night, usually on an individual basis or group basis. But
I feel like one of the ongoing perpetual challenges for leaders is making sure that the individuals within their organization have purposeful work to do. And as the leader, that thought process is never done. You probably have to continue to worry about that on and on.
So, it's interesting. You say, like, I have to look back sometimes and say, we've been here, we've done this, feel good about where we've gotten, and know that it's the infinite game, as Simon Sinek is saying right now, right?
Absolutely. Kim, give advice to 18-year-old Kim as you are, getting ready to go to college and take those first steps away from home. What do you wish you knew then that you know now?
I wish that I would have been more forward thinking about who I could be, as opposed to the platform of who I had been. So you carry along a lot of baggage as you start college and say, like, I'm showing up with this baggage, and I wish I would have kind of taken off that cape earlier and said, here are the things I could do. So I'd say eyes and ears open, thinking forward.
Very, very good advice. All right, we're going to transition now to some fun questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. A song plays whenever you enter a room. What is that song?
What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Do you know it?
Absolutely. Wonderful choice.
Beautiful.
Seinfeld or Friends?
Seinfeld for sure. I'm a little quirky that way, so yes.
Who's your favorite character in Seinfeld?
I don't know. Gosh, that's a hard one. Maybe Jerry. I think it might be Jerry.
What is your favorite curse word?
Well, Tyler, how can you ask a lady a damned question like that?
I think that is the most unique answer we've ever had on this program. Very, very well done. What is the last television show that you binged watched?
So I've enjoyed Yellowstone. I've watched Kevin Costner age well.
That's a great program, and he is, I hope I can age that well. He looks
kidding.
Good.
Yeah.
If you were going to have a dinner party with anyone, alive or deceased, who would you have and why?
Well, I would really enjoy having another dinner with my dad. I miss his strength.
Very good answer. Comedy club or dance club?
Well, I I would go to a dance club, but I can tell you my husband would never go with me, so maybe it'd have to be a comedy club.
Fair enough. Your favorite sound?
The sound I've gotten into lately is birds. I've really enjoyed like walking and running without any music on and just listening to birds.
What is your least favorite sound?
People arguing.
I can relate to that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird is Kim Lehrman?
I think she's a solid 8, Tyler. I try to hide it, but you know.
What is something that you are not very good at?
I started playing golf and I am just suck at it, but I really like it.
Get to be outside, get to listen to the birds, peaceful.
Exactly. Have a cocktail, you know, what's wrong with that?
Absolutely. Your room, your desk, or your car, which one do you clean first?
I would clean my room, but part of my weirdness is I am a neat freak, so I do all of them at once so we could have like a really OCD clean moment.
So is your office, your entire house always relatively clean?
Yes.
I think that cleanliness leads to orderliness, and that's probably something good in a CEO role. You want to make sure you can be as efficient as possible. I
agree with that. It just makes me feel more centered.
Perfect. Well, we are down to our last question. And before I get to that, I just again want to say, Kim, thank you so much for participating in the last and final virtual TechBrew AM of the season. We are so appreciative. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to let the folks at home know about CEC, how they can learn more about your organization and some of the things that you guys do?
Yeah, so CEC is a 75-year-old technology solution provider in Iowa, and we really partner with communities to do their fire, their security. We have a great event, October 21st, Business Technology Conference. We'd love to invite your listeners who are technology folks to come participate. And I do want to say I really appreciate the work that TAI has done in the state of Iowa. You raise up the bar of who we can be as technology providers. So great job.
Well, thank you very much, Kim. That's very kind of you to say. And obviously the work here at TAI is a reflection of what's going on in the industry across the state. So thank you for your service and your leadership within the industry. With that, your final question will get you out of here. Kim Lehrman, if God exists, what do you want to hear him say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I would say you made a positive difference in the lives of others.
Wonderful answer, and I'm sure that it's true. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, Tyler.
At JetBlue, innovation is in our DNA. And what we love about the relationship we have with Nutanix is that innovation is also in their DNA. And when you bring those two things together, great things happen.
Trek is really technology driven. Bikes are absolutely as technologically advanced as possible, and all of that is really driven under the hood. It's all being powered by Nutanix.
Once we dipped our toe into the hyper-converged infrastructure platform, we decided, hey, this could be a great platform for our dynamic enterprise workloads in our data center. And so then we actually converted our entire data center to a hyper-converged infrastructure platform on Nutanix. And so now we run all of our dynamic workloads across it.
The amount of time that I spend on any given day to maintain this infrastructure has now been cut almost to nothing.
One of the biggest differences we've seen with Nutanix Enterprise Cloud is the ability to improve our work-life balance and make Wharton a more attractive place to work.
The benefit of being hardware agnostic is that no matter which vendor I choose or which vendor gives me the best price in that moment, the software on top of it is always the same, so my procedures, my process of implementing doesn't change.